users finding themselves disillusioned with Elon Musk or the content on X may have been defecting to a new platform to express their views, Bluesky. And it seems X's loss is Bluesky's gain. It's now boasting around 20 million users, with 6 million joining in the past week alone. And if you take a look at it, it looks pretty Twitter-like, which makes sense because it was also founded by Jack Dorsey. Bluesky says what makes it different is that users have far greater user control over things like content and what they see. It still has a fraction, of course, of X's user base, which is estimated by some to be around 245 million daily users. But Bluesky's growth is making the social media universe sit up and take note. Rose Wang is Bluesky's Chief Operating Officer, and she joins us now. Rose, a pleasure to have you on the show. Whether it's for you guys as the exec committee or for users on the platform, what are the biggest differences between Bluesky and X?
Thanks for having me, Julia. We get this question a lot. And one of the key things I like to highlight is that on Bluesky, you get to interact with real people and have fun conversations. And why is that happening on Bluesky and not on X? It's because we're used to being trapped in one algorithm controlled by a small group of people. And with Bluesky, that's no longer the case. Users have built over 50,000 different feeds, including 5-cat feeds, 200 Taylor Swift feeds, and various other feeds organized either chronologically or based on what your followers are liking. And the possibilities are endless. And so these feeds are providing cozier corners to connect with people with similar interests, because there's no longer a single dominant algorithm that only promotes either the most polarizing post and or the biggest brands.
Okay, so you can cultivate the content that you see and in a sense create your own algorithm. Somebody else isn't artificially creating it for you. Is that the case? But you also said, and just to answer two questions at once, real people. Are you saying that you control the bot content as well on the platform?
When I talk about real people, what I mean is right now that lots of users are joining on. And when you have an algorithm that's controlled by the company, oftentimes the company will put certain users ahead of others in terms of what they want to promote or not promote. And so what's really exciting about Bluesky is that we're putting that choice in users' hands. So you can decide, hey, do I want to go talk to people with similar interests in nature or science? But when it comes to bots, I mean, bots are going to be a problem all social media platforms. I think what's really exciting about Bluesky is that this is a new social media platform that we launched to the public in February of this year. And so we've learned a lot from what's happened with traditional social media networks. And so we can go and prevent and put in the technologies now to prevent spam bots at scale in ways that earlier social media companies had to learn as they were building.
Yeah, the hard way. I mean, you did see a surge after Donald Trump won the presidential election. Do you see yourself as a platform for Democrats? I think the Guardian newspaper said it was a toxic media platform. That's how it described X. Rose, how do you want to be perceived? How do you ensure that this is a platform for all and that you encourage debate without the hate?
That's a great question. When we built Bluesky, the idea is that anyone with thoughtful ideas want to have actual dialogue. We can provide a new space for those conversations and reduce the toxicity. One of the big reasons I think that we're able to do that is because Jay and I, who run the company, we're both women. We've been on the internet for decades and experienced what it's like to be on the internet as women. That said, because of that, we've put moderation and trust and safety as a first priority, because we believe that you cannot have fun without safety. And so what we hope to see is that over time, you can create your own space and find your people. So it doesn't really matter what you believe, but it's about, can you have thoughtful conversation, and will the community come together and help moderate and make sure that the new rules of this new platform reduce rudeness and are promoting healthier dialogue?
I mean, I like women in charge of all things. Let's just say that straight. But I also did read that Jack Dorsey stepped down, that he also deleted his account. Can you explain why? And if that's the case?
Jack left our board earlier this year. That said, Jack, when he helped found Bluesky, it was to help launch the idea and provide us the funding. And when I say provide us the funding, we were actually building Bluesky for Twitter, who was our customer. So we were a separate company building the protocol. And so the way that Jack is approaching this is he's approaching it from a portfolio approach. He wants lots of different open social networks out there. And so we're really appreciative of the support he gave us, but we're also our own team now. And we're really excited to keep going with the 20 people we have on the team.
Oh, wow. It's not enough at the speed in which you're growing. And I have seen some concerns about glitches and tech glitches. So talk to me. And the funding point's a very important one. How are you going to finance this if you're not advertising? And do you have the money to scale up, even the infrastructure for the growth that you're seeing? Because that's how you really compete with some of the big guys and the platforms.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've been taking on about 1 million users a day for the last week, as you said, and we have not had any major downtime. And we're really proud of how robust our infrastructure is. I think number of team members is somewhat correlated, but it's also how experienced the team members are. And so we have some really awesome folks on the team, such as Aaron Rodericks, who used to lead election integrity at Twitter and now leads trust and safety here at Bluesky. And so we have very experienced executives. And then on top of that, the way that we're thinking about scaling and thinking about monetization is we announced that we're launching subscriptions at the end of this year. And but we're not going to put any core functionalities behind a paywall. It's very important that speech is open to all, but we're looking at more like custom aesthetics or more video uploads. And so that will help sustain the network for some time. But we have some really awesome investors who helped actually build the internet early on, who have been supporting Bluesky. And so we expect to continue to grow. And with investor money, we're not so worried about monetization yet.
It's fascinating to have the depth of bench and experience, to your point. So you're seeing a lot of these challenges ahead of time, which is helpful. Rose, very quickly, because I have about 10 seconds. How much sleep have you and your 19 colleagues had over the last 2 weeks?
I will say that we're getting enough sleep to keep going, but probably not enough to be healthy.
Good luck. Keep in touch. We'll continue to track your progress. Thank you. Rose Wang there, Chief Operating Officer of Bluesky.